Good evening, I'm Keisha Butts with the CTV News Update. As we've been telling you all week, many Prince Georgians are unhappy with the redistricting map that's up for consideration by the County Council. Critics say this map, which was proposed by Councilmember Derek Davis, replaces a plan with fewer changes but put forth by the Redistricting Commission. Residents of the Vansville Heights Citizens Association say they are against the Davis map because it moves all of Beltsville from District 1 and splits it into 2 other districts. Vansville Heights is a historically Black community in Beltsville.
At this time, to split or take away some of Vansville and put it in another district diminishes our ability to get full and proper representation at the county. We've sent letters to the county council. We've sent letters to our county exec. We're sending letters to our state representatives. We're sending letters to everybody because this is just not right.
Supporters of the Davis plan say his map does not replace the one put forth by the commission. They say it's just another option. Meantime, Sharon Taylor, who chaired the Redistricting Commission in 2011, has also strongly criticized the plan. A public hearing and vote are expected on November 16th. Winter in October, that's unheard of, but that didn't stop snow trucks from hitting the roads today. CTV visited the Department of Public Works and Transportation for its annual snow and ice prep. It might be fall, but in just a few months, winter could be hitting our area. To gear up, the Department of Public Works and Transportation is conducting its annual Snow and Ice Dry Run.
This gives us the opportunity to go out and inspect our roads for any potholes, any steel plates, or anything that may hinder our snow operations during the winter season.
Main thing is potholes. We got to report them to Trip Center right away. Metal plates, anything that disturb the road, we got to report it so they can take actions right away so we can get ready for a snow event.
Spokesperson Paulette Jones says more than 100 vehicles are out today. That includes some of the new trucks like this one.
We have about 10 of our larger dump trucks, and those will help us on our major and primary collector roadways. And then we have about 6 of the smaller vehicles, which will help us in some of our subdivisions.
While Jones says the weather forecasters are predicting a mild winter, she says you can never be too careful.
We really never know what type of season we're going to have. And so we just want to make sure that our roadways are in good shape so that if in fact we have a robust winter, a blizzard or something, that we would be in the positions to treat the roadways as we need to.
And if that blizzard does come, people behind the wheel should be cautious.
Drivers and anybody else that is in the roadway, just to be careful. The main thing for us is be safe and have our residents in Prince George's County safe first.
In Forestville, Keisha Butts, CTV News. Jones also says the county is conducting its virtual snow summit November 18th. For more information, visit the website on your screen. The off-field problems of the Washington football team now has the attention of Congress. 2 lawmakers are asking for documents related to the NFL's probe of the team. The probe of workplace culture and sexual harassment led to a $10 million fine and the sidelining of owner Dan Snyder. Meantime, recently leaked team emails with anti-gay and anti-black messages led to the ouster of one NFL coach. In other news, national news, the U.S. Supreme Court agrees to take up the case of a controversial Texas abortion law. The High Court is allowing the law to remain in effect, but will hear oral arguments on November 1st. The Texas measure is considered one of the most restrictive abortion laws in the nation. It allows private citizens to take legal action against anyone who assists in an abortion. With the current conservative makeup of the Supreme Court, the landmark Roe v. Wade decision on abortion could be in jeopardy. While young children are another step closer to being eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. A new study shows that Pfizer's kid-size vaccine is safe and nearly 91% effective for 5 to 11-year-olds. If the shots are approved, a rollout of the vaccine would begin in November. FDA advisors are expected to debate the evidence of the study next week. The state health department today reports 863 new COVID-19 cases. Sadly, 14 Marylanders have died of the virus in the last 24 hours. This brings the state's COVID-19 death toll to more than 10,500. Currently, about 650 residents are hospitalized with the disease. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha, but still to come, Metro train delays will continue through next week. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, we're Edie's Angels,
volunteers with the Edith B. Wright Breast Cancer Foundation, encouraging you to do your monthly self-breast examinations.
It doesn't really matter how you do them. You can do them in the shower, laying down, or in the mirror. Just make sure you do them.
Because this is
a serious matter.
I dream of a world that's cancer-free.
Maryland senators are calling for more cooperation and transparency from WMATA. This follows the Metro train derailment last week involving the 7000 series train. Senators Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen want to know what top leaders knew about safety issues with 7000 series cars. Meantime, Metro Rail commuters can expect continued longer wait times until the end of the month. Trains will run every 15 to 20 minutes on the Red Line and 30 to 40 minutes on all other lines. WSSC customers in Montgomery and Prince George's counties can expect a rate increase by next year, but by how much remains unclear. A Montgomery Council committee says it would support a 6% rise. Both Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich and the Prince George's County Council are recommending a 7% increase. The water utility has asked for a 9% rate hike. Both councils have agreed on rate increase limits over the last 3 years. Each 1% hike adds an additional $2.39 to the average quarterly residential bill. As you make your holiday shopping list, Maryland officials are urging you to shop local. Comptroller Peter Francho kicked off his Shop Local for the Holidays campaign in Berwyn Heights yesterday. With supply chain issues impacting companies like Amazon, Francho says it's the perfect time to buy from mom and pop shops across the state.
If you want to take advantage of the fabulous economy we have here in the state of Maryland with small businesses, go and shop local. A, it's affordable. B, they're great products. C, they're actually there. But do a favor for me and buy them before mid-November.
What are the important issues facing the D.C. area? It's a topic retired Washington Post reporter Bob McCartney is investigating in his new podcast, Think Regionally, sponsored by the Council of Governments. In his first podcast, McCartney interviews 4 area leaders about racial and economic equity in the region.
The next one in November is going to be about basically how can we optimize our mass transit system. Certain number of stations, metro stations or bus terminals or commuter rail terminals. Those are high capacity transit access points, if you will, and the communities around them are, get more of the population, more of the job growth, sort of more of everything than other places around the region. So how do we make sure that we're getting the maximum benefit out of our high capacity mass transit stations and locations?
For more information about the Think Regionally podcast, log on to mwcog.org. An anti-gerrymandering group with ties to Governor Hogan makes an unusual FOIA request. Fair Maps Maryland submitted a sweeping public records request aimed at the General Assembly's Legislative Redistricting Advisory Commission. The group was formed by Governor Hogan earlier this year to draft congressional and legislative maps. The request includes documents regarding contracts with consultants and commission-related documents. The General Assembly will have the final say over redistricting in the state, where Democrats hold a veto-proof majority. Republicans from Western Maryland are asking for their counties to be transferred to West Virginia. The 5 GOP members from Allegheny, Garrett, and Washington counties include House Minority Leader Jason Bucknell, who sent one of 2 letters to West Virginia lawmakers, saying the arrangement could be beneficial for both states and local constituencies. The Maryland lawmakers say they're drawn to the state by job opportunities and values, including strong support of the Second Amendment and anti-abortion stances. Any type of succession would have to be supported by the Maryland General Assembly. Democratic lawmakers call the letters a publicity stunt. And we'll be back with more news in a moment. Stay with us.
I may not be a drummer, but I don't miss a beat when it comes to my monthly self-breast examination. The Edith B. Wright Breast Cancer Foundation encourages everyone to do their monthly self-examination. Thank you.
I dream of a world that's cancer-free.
Welcome back. The pastor of New Life Church in Hyattsville is indicted on federal charges for arranging fraudulent marriages between foreign nationals and U.S. citizens. 50-year-old Joshua Shonubi of Bowie was indicted for conspiracy to commit marriage fraud and visa fraud, and for presenting false documents to a federal government agency. Shonubi allegedly arranged about 60 marriages and submitted false reference letters on church letterhead. He faces a maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison. After defeating the Toronto Raptors 98-83 in their season opener, the Washington Wizards will play their first home game tonight against the Indiana Pacers. The Wizards' matchups with the Pacers made for some of the most exciting games of last season, including a 133-132 overtime thriller in which Bradley Beal scored 50 points.
We got to be disciplined. I mean, their bigs are dynamic, can play inside out, can shoot the three, and they're both extremely physical. So we got to be smart with our hands, our body position. We got to be ahead of the play to give ourselves a chance. Ideally, want to try and play straight up as we can. We don't want to overhelp, but if we have to bring help, we will. It's going to be a challenge for our front court to be able to defend those two.
Tip-off is at 7. In other Wizards news, last night the team unveiled a bust of Wes Unseld Sr., the franchise's all-time leader in rebounds and games played. Unseld died last year of pneumonia at the age of 74. It's reboot time for the University of Maryland football team. After getting off to a 4-0 start, the Terps suffered blowout losses to Iowa and Ohio State. Tomorrow, they hope to rebound at Huntington Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. That's where the Terps will take on the Golden Gophers of the University of Minnesota. Both teams come in with identical records.
Guys that haven't had opportunities because of the depth that we created, like a Dawan McDougal, like a Marcus Fleming, and I'm gonna just tell you right now, both those guys were heavily recruited, had a lot of offers, could go anywhere in the country for the most part, and we're very fortunate that those guys are the next men up for us.
I mean, our confidence is good. You know, you got all brothers, and you know, you got your older brothers, and you already know they're good. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you got your younger brothers who are you know, like, dang, he could be good one day, and then the older brothers leave. And then it's like, yeah, it's my little brother's turn. You know what I mean? But nobody knows about them. A lot of people ask you, like, is he really good? Is he really that? You know, you just got to see. And I feel like that's kind of our confidence going into this week.
Our quarterback does a great job of distributing the ball. We got tight ends, Corey Dyches, Chig, both talented players, our running back. So we still got enough weapons because of how we've recruited that we can find and generate explosive plays wherever we need to. And our quarterback has the ability to do a good job of finding those guys.
We just have a lot of young guys stepping up and who've been put the work in, and now it's the opportunity to shine. So I'm excited for all of them.
The Terps kick off at 3:30 tomorrow. Well, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 53. Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 67. Sunday and Monday, mostly sunny with daytime temps near 70. And now let's get a quick check on our community calendar. Check out the Tunnel of Terror if you dare. Splash and Echo Car Wash is converting its Clinton location into a haunted house. Bring your family and friends to Scaria 51, October 24th through the 31st. from 6 to 10 p.m. For more information, visit splashin.com/Halloween. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. I'm Keisha Butts. Have a safe weekend. Good night.